Welcome everyone to another positivity video here from Nikoli's Kitchen. My name is Nick. This show is all about scratch-made food and positive energy. Specifically, this video right here is all about positivity. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you're notified whenever I release new content here on the channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for your continued support. Last week on the show, I talked about counting up all of the little wins in life. I talked about what really makes life worth living, what really makes everything kind of tick. I was listening to today's show when I was out in the kitchen today, and I had a great day in the kitchen. Scratch-made blueberry almond flour pancakes, absolutely dreamy, with this just beautiful reduced sugar homemade blueberry compote over the top. Homemade pizza sauce, homemade pizza dough. I whipped out a margarita pizza with just beautiful fresh basil and mozzarella. There's nothing like fresh tomato. Like, I love pizza in any form. And of course I made, a normal pizza, just cheese pizza with my pizza sauce as well. But just the freshness of just rich, creamy mozzarella, fresh basil, freshly sliced tomatoes, salt, pepper, a little bit of olive oil. There's nothing in the world like it. Absolutely sings. I got marinade, as I talked about just a few moments ago. I got marinade prepped for another batch of Gyeong chicken. I went to the store today and I got other stuff to make other meals for the week, including one of the favorites here in the household, enchiladas. Cannot wait to get the marinade done and then grill. I'm going to grill that chicken up at the same time I do the Gyeong chicken. And then just save that, and we're going to have chicken enchiladas on Wednesday. We have chimney that I made last time we had enchiladas. I got that still in the fridge. It's been a really good day. What's made your day good today? Let's take a moment together. I'm going to quiet down everything except for the sound of my voice. If you're able to, wherever you're listening to this, whenever you're listening to this, or if you're watching this live on Twitch right now, or on YouTube after the fact, close your eyes. Think about a win that you've had today. Doesn't matter how small it is. Doesn't matter if it's just, really kind of nailed that coffee today. Doesn't matter if you really just, then those pancakes. One of my things that I love to do when I'm in my kitchen, especially if I'm making any kind of tomato-based sauces, it's tough for me to describe the point at which I know a sauce has hit. Like that it's where I need it to be, it's where I want it to be. But I know it reaches that point when I can't stop eating it. You just want to sit there and just keep shoveling it in. You're just like, you just can't stop. And I got to that point with the pizza sauce again today. And last time I made pizza sauce, I went way too heavy on the pepper. So it was very black pepper forward, which I love black pepper. But even for me, it was like a lot, which tells me how much it was, because for anybody else, it would have been like, ugh. But yeah, everything landed today. Everything hit so good today. Got another video on the Minecraft series done. Got another stream highlight video done. I'm here right now doing this thing. And I know I talked about this last week, and we're going somewhere with this, I promise. But I just wanted to bring this back around because it's something that I feel like bears repeating over and over and over again to celebrate those little wins. How did you win today? Because I guarantee you there was something, no matter what it is, no matter how small it is, in some small way, you won. I wanted to talk about the little wins today. Because sometimes in life, we get setbacks too. Sometimes in life, we face challenges. Sometimes in life, we don't get the answer that we want to hear. A few weeks ago, I must have mentioned it on the show. I know I streamed the day I had an interview for a position at Cornell, and didn't happen. Fell through. And it really bummed me out. It really, really bummed me out because I loved the idea. I love the idea of the work, and it's kind of something way more adjacent to what I would really love to do, because it's something that I could utilize. Like, I want to help people. I've never known in my life more what my purpose is than it is to help people in some way or another. It's why I do the positivity segment in this show, and some people may listen to the positivity segment. Some people may not get anything out of this at all. Some people may just go to the recipe in the show notes. You may never even hear my voice. But if one person listens to the positivity segment of this show, if one person listens to what I do, and they're able to take my life experiences and relate to it in some way, if they're able to just grow from it, learn from it, maybe not make the mistakes that I've made, then that's absolutely everything to me. That came up, like, it comes up, I see threads about it, like, all the time on Twitter. The most recent one was a show posted and asked if you'd ever thought about quitting what you do, quitting your show. And I said, yeah, it's really, it can be really, really thankless a lot of the time. A lot of the time, you're just talking to dead air. You know, you don't know who's out there listening. You don't know who's out there watching. You don't know if anybody even is. Maybe you turned on the video and you went away to the kitchen, and then you came back and it was over and you were like, eh. You know, maybe you turned on the podcast, but, you know, it was playing in the car and the volume was kind of low and the kids were yelling, so you didn't really even get to kind of tune into anything. And then when you turn the volume back up, it's, thank you for coming on this journey with me. Boom, music hits, and then the end. You know, so a lot of times it feels thankless, and a lot of times it can feel lonely, and a lot of times it can feel kind of like there's a solitude to it. And I know that people listen. I know that people watch. I know no matter what, because people have told me that they have. People have told me that my advice or the way that I have approached a subject or the way that I've thought about a situation has helped them to change their way of thinking about a situation, about a thing. It's helped them to hold themselves more accountable. It's helped them to work harder. It's helped them to find whatever avenue, whatever answer, whatever thing it is that they need to find in their life. It's helped them to find it. And when I was reading that tweet and when I was typing up my answer, it was, yeah, of course I've thought about it. But then I remember that one person who maybe has been where I've been in my life before, who has maybe struggled the way that I've struggled before in my life, has had the thoughts that I've had in my life before. Maybe by some cosmic coincidence, they stumble upon my show, and maybe listening to my show is enough to get them to reach out for help, or is enough to convince them that they have value. And if you're listening to this, even if you're not listening to this, I don't care. You have so much value. Maybe that's the thing that pulls them back. I don't know that that'll ever happen. Doesn't matter. Because if there's a chance that it could, isn't that chance worth taking? I believe it is. I really, really believe it is. And that's why I don't stop doing this. That's why you see these positivity videos. That's why I continue to do the podcast. That's why I continue to just try to put myself out there in space, trying to do what I can to make a good, positive difference in this world. And then sometimes you're gonna get setbacks. I'm in the middle of the throes of live stream preparations right now. The event, by the time you're hearing this, is probably a month or less away. And I've got so much left to do. I'm further behind, I think, than I've ever been. And I'm more frustrated by the event, I think, than I've ever been. You know, and it just, as much as you celebrate the wins, you will lose. You will fail. You will be challenged. You will be forced to change your plans. You will be forced to adapt. And that's when you've got to be strong. That's when you have to gut check yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror. And you have to say, I believe in you. I believe in your ability to do this, whatever it is. Because you are smart, you are capable, you are strong. And you can do this. I promise you that you can. You just have to start by believing in you. Even though I was bummed out that I didn't get that job, and a couple other jobs I've applied for, I didn't even get an interview. I'm still relatively toward the beginning of this job search. And it could take some time to find something that I really feel is going to be a good fit, that's also going to compensate me fairly the way I believe I should be compensated, that's also going to put me in a position to help people. Because I want to help people. You know, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for that to happen. What I can't do is I can't throw up my hands and I can't just say, well, this was the one I wanted. No, throwing up my hands, I quit. You can't give up. Especially not when life reaches its darkest moments, especially not when that plate hits max capacity, especially not when your frustration peaks. Persevere. Take things off of the plate if you need to. Lord knows we've talked about it enough on this show about overloading the plate, because I do it all the time. Physically and metaphorically. We've talked about it all the time. It's okay to have setbacks. It's okay to fail. Every single person ever has failed. Everybody has, in some way or another. Every single person has had setbacks in one way or another. But you can't let them beat you. My setbacks have always beaten me. Maybe not always, but for a long time, they did. For a long time, it was so hard. Like any kind of rejection, any kind of upset, I guess, any shaking or instability, I guess is the word I'm looking for, to what's going on, to the established order of my life. And a lot of times I would just melt at it. And I don't want to melt at it anymore. I know who I am. I believe in me. I believe in my ability to make a good and positive difference in this world, in so many people's lives. This does not define me. Even if I get rejected for the next 10, the next 50, the next 100, they don't define me. You have to just, and it's a conscious thing, and I know it sounds silly. And it's something that it's really, really tough to kind of think of it in a mental fashion. But what I want you to do, wherever you're listening to this, or if you're watching this, whatever the case may be, wherever you are, whenever you are, look at your phone, turn on your camera, flip that thing around, get it in selfie mode. Or if you're home or someplace with a mirror, look in a mirror. You point right at the person in that phone. You point right at the person in that mirror. You say, you are capable. You are strong. And I believe in you. You are capable. You are strong. And I believe in you. No change in your life will ever happen if you don't believe in your ability to make it. If you don't believe that you can land that job, walking into that interview, if you don't believe whatever it is, then you're already defeating yourself before you ever get out the door. And you'll apply that energy and that mindset and that logic to the entire process of going through it. And it might even become kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy in that way. So many people doubt their own strength. I am so guilty of it myself. So many people look at themselves as weak, as failures. But then go back to last week's episode, or the beginning of this positivity segment, or do it right now. Close your eyes. Take some deep breaths with me. How did you win today? What wins did you have today? Because I guarantee you that you had some of them. And as stressful as life gets and as tough as things are, and as much as it can be really difficult to not focus on the failings, as much as it can be difficult to not focus on the rejections, focus on those good things that happen to you. Focus on believing in you, in believing that you deserve good, beautiful, amazing things. And don't stop believing in yourself until you get them. It's totally like an excuse for a whole bunch of white people to start jumping up and down and screaming. I want to thank you so much for watching the positivity video here today. As I said earlier, if you like this kind of thing, if you like the content here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I release new content. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for coming on this journey with me.